Hello folks, so in this video I wanted to try out Grafana, which is an open source software OSS. So Grafana has been built by this company called Grafana Labs, and they have multiple open source softwares, open source projects. So if you can look here, so you'll find Grafana was the first thing I think that they built, and then they built many more things. For example, Grafana Loki, which is for log, uh, basically your log platform, log aggregation system, and then there is Tempo for tracing traces and spans, and then there is Mimir for metrics, similar to Prometheus. But I think it's based on Prometheus, but not exactly Prometheus. And then there is Spiroscope for profiling, and then there is Bela for eBPF, which is I think Berkeley packet filter, and then there is Fero for front-end application observability, and then there's Alloy for providing an agent, and then there is K6 for performance testing or load testing, and Prometheus OpenTelemetry, Graphite. They have a lot more, so you can actually go here and check it out. So you can click this also. So these are all the projects that they have, and they also have some exporters, quick starts, and you can actually see OpenTelemetry. So they actually contribute to that too, right? And then there's Tanka, which is a robust configuration utility. I've not tried this out, but I think looks like it's based on JSON.NET. So yeah. So let's go ahead and actually there's something called Faro. Okay, for the front end stuff. There's something called on-call for on-call management. So pretty interesting. Okay, I didn't know this thing. Didn't know about this thing. Maintenance mode and will be archived. Okay, it will be archived. Interesting. I wonder why. So has entered maintenance mode will be archived while you continue. However, we will provide fixes for critical bugs and services. Support and actively maintain alternative Grafana Cloud IRM. Oh, they have a cloud version of it. I think incident response management. I'm not sure. Yeah, incident response and on-call management. Okay. So for incident call management, so Grafana Cloud IRM. So before, after, deprecated on-call incident. So basically, I think it's put together, incident and on-call management together. So the questions are, what is it? This is maintenance mode. We're launching unified Grafana Cloud IRM, bringing together. So looks like they already have Grafana on call and Grafana incident, and they mixed it up to call it incident and response management. Incident and response management. So closed sourcing on call no will remain a fully open source licensed. It's committed to open source. We keep hiring. Okay. So for open source positions, those hires, investing those hires, open source work. Interesting. No, we want to give everyone as much time as possible to make their own engineering and business decisions. And updated independently from the main system. Okay. If you do not have a common space for finding and working in environment, then you should not open a thread. Okay. Cool. Anyways, let's get to Grafana now. So I'll go ahead and open up Grafana. So this is what you'll notice when you. So this is the Grafana Labs website. All right. They have a complete observability thing. They started with visualization and went ahead with testing. There is performance testing using K6, I think. Yeah, this is K6 basically. So you can actually see the docs also. So around K6. And then there is synthetic monitoring. I wonder what this is. Let me just check it out. This is a cloud thing, I think. Synthetic monitoring. Is it open source? I don't think so. Performance testing. Yes, I think this is open source. So open source. Yeah. So that is basics performance testing and stuff. And then you have a lot of other stuff, drill down apps. Okay, I'll go check it out later. They have some Helm charts and enterprise stuff, basically Helm charts for all that, and then open source stuff, right? So in this case, I was actually trying to go ahead and look at, say, for example, if you're looking at visualized data, you look at dashboards, or you say dashboards, you'll probably notice open source here also. So you'll notice this. There is also enterprise content applicable to this and to this. Interesting. So corporate notice and whatnot. Cool. So let's go to, I mean, these are all the things that they have: on-call management, observability front-end application infrastructure, contextual root cause analysis. Interesting. I will probably go ahead and check these out. And then they also have cost management, which is also important. So service level objectives, AI insights, security and governance, building blocks, low-key memory, tempo traces. Okay. Cool. So no lock-in. Cool. Are they hiring? I'm just curious. So locations, remote, India. They do have India. It's only a sales thing for now. So all locations, they have anything open source? No. For now, no. But yeah, they do have engineering stuff, but it's all managerial things. So it's okay. There is a senior full stack software engineer, backend engineer for databases. Interesting. Loki for Loki, Grafana database tempo. Stay in the call. And then there is Loki ingest, and then database tempo and all, and then data sources for Grafana. Open source software Big Tent. I wonder what that is. I think it's like the whole list of things under Grafana open source. Observability, ingest, alloy, and OpenTelemetry collector. Cool. So they have something under every other thing in R&D. Anyway, so in open source software, you'll actually notice that so Grafana is like, there's the latest version, LLM powered SQL expressions. Wow, there's a lot of stuff. I wonder how that comes up. So available in public review in all editions of Grafana. Rollout in private beta and Grafana make it easy to join and transform data from any data source using familiar SQL syntax. From an LLM app plugin, okay. Directly with the editor, allowing you to generate SQL queries from natural language. Interesting. I think that's an interesting thing, because you would want to use AI to help with converting natural language to an SQL or other query language. But then, of course, assuming that it knows the query language or has a model context protocol MCP server to understand the language given the natural language. So yeah, it looks like they have a lot of new features. Let's look at how you can actually get this up and running. So this is the GitHub. If I say docs, I'll say download for now. So nightly builds, and then you have Mac. I want ARM64. I don't want enterprise edition. Okay, so these are all enterprise. Recall and recommended. It includes all the, can be used for free and can be upgraded to the full enterprise feature set, including. Okay, so but I don't want to use the enterprise version. I'll just use this for now. So brew update, and I can get it done. So AMD64, okay, ARM64, ARM. Okay, so those are the ARM stuff. For more information, I can just use this brew update. Let me try that out. Brew install Grafana. I'll actually do an info and let's see how that goes. And I want to actually run Prometheus. So I want to run Prometheus and see, like, let me see, build, Prometheus, prom PB. I don't know what is prom PB, but we have Prometheus. So Yeah. So this is the main thing, I think, F4B. Yeah. So let me see if I can do brew info first on Grafana to see what it does. So you have 46 outdated, you can upgrade them. Calling conflicts with formula, deprecated, Redis, homebrew, Redis, okay. We'll come back to this. This is 12.2 years. So do they have ARM version also? ARM, yeah, ARM is there. So depending on mine is not Tahoe, it's Sequoia, I think. It's Sequoia, yes. So that's the name. So I think we have it. So I'll just say, oops. I do want to start this repo if I haven't already. Okay, I have. So I'll just go ahead and just say brew install Grafana. I do want to build it from scratch, so we'll do that also. So since we have Prometheus thing over here, and we also have a config file, I think, prometheus.yaml, right? And then we have Prometheus rules also. So let me just go ahead and run it, and I think it has some node exporters also. Maybe I'll just turn that off. Let me open up Prometheus, and if you have the YAML Prometheus .yaml, not this, Prometheus.yml. Okay, interesting. I thought it would be here. Okay, it is here. And it's git ignored, that's why it's not showing up in the search. But if I do this now, it'll show up. So I'll just remove this node thing alone because I don't need it. Right, and then rules. I'll just open this up. This is for node CPU and all that. So for now, maybe I'll just skip it. Maybe I'll just skip the Prometheus rules YAML also. Right. So now I have just the basic thing running. Right. So I'll have Prometheus. And it runs. So I think it's reading from the Prometheus YAML file, the configuration file. So as you can see, completed loading of the configuration file. That's the default it takes up. Right. Loading configuration file and it's done. Right. So let's look at running Grafana now. So I wonder how do you run it? Just a minute. So it's service start Grafana, or if you don't need a background service, you can just run this. Okay, that's a big thing. Okay, so it says Grafana server. So if I just use this, so I have that, and then I have the CLI, and then I have the server. No such file directory. Okay. Sorry, not less. Just run this with help. Is deprecated and will be removed in the future. Please update. All user Grafana to Grafana server. So let me just check what this is. What file type this is? This is an executable. Okay. And then Grafana CLI is also an executable, and I wonder what that is all about. Okay, so this is also something they're asking you to just go ahead and use Grafana, and this is also an executable. I wonder what else do we have here. That's it. So this is the whole thing. So binaries, and there are some shared stuff. So configuration, ini files, toml files, provisioning, access control, plugins, alerting, dashboards, data sources, samples. Okay. Sample YAML. Okay, that's a big file. Okay, so that's for graphite, and then you can have, I think, Prometheus and whatnot. I would want to have Prometheus first because I have a Prometheus running here. So let me just go ahead and choose your configuration options. Has a number of commands defined in its config file. In this config, you can change things like default admin password, HTTP port, Grafana database, SQLite, MySQL, Postgres. Authentication options along with many other things, and start your Grafana, login with your admin user, default admin. One side menu, click on and head to data source and add your data source. Cool. So this is the docs, right? Download, I've done it. So this is the GitHub, and this is the docs. Latest PG is equal to and all that. Okay, this is the latest. This is for both open source and this. So what's new? Introduction, setup, data source. Okay, let me just go ahead and just say something like this. I think they've already mentioned what to do over here. So they mentioned config file, use Grafana ini. Home path is this. Packaging is slash equal to brew. I wonder why it says slash equal to backslash equal to, anyways, instead of just like a space. Let me just check this out first. Grafana help. The version. So it's 12.2 and server help. Server version 12.2. Unknown dev. Wow, it says commit unknown dev. Branch name. Anyways, commands target and all that. Okay, target specific Grafana services. Okay. So they want us to use the Grafana ini file that is there already. Let me just check that out. And there is also a configuration default paths for logs, which is var log Grafana, and then for data to store the data, and then plugins for the plugins. Okay. Okay. Let me open that up quickly using code. Yes. Okay. So that's a long ass file. Okay. But a lot of them are just commented out. So there is paths to where Grafana can store temp files, server, custom response headers, environment, database. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, I think defaults are taken up, so it's not a problem. Data sources, SQL data sources, users, secret scan, auth, service accounts, anonymous. That's a lot of stuff. Okta and all that. So there are a lot of things. Okay, it's mostly clean, neat. You can actually read through this. What did they have in varlib? Okay. So it said basically this, right? So I want to look at it's OPT homebrew varlib Grafana plugins. Okay, so I want to look at this once. There is nothing here. Okay, and then log homebrew log Grafana. Okay. Cool. Let's just go ahead and run this and see how it goes. Wow, that's a lot of logs. So what is the store it used? SQL store transactions, database is logged, could not get process start time, could not read /proc, no such file or directory, Grafana API server. Okay. I'm wondering what it's using, but I think this should be up and running now. It has installed some plugins. Okay. Grafana metrics, drill down app and all that. Okay. So if we go to localhost, I wonder which port it's running at. So PC port. That's a lot of ports. Oh, that is for Redis, no? Yeah. HA engine address, it's for live HA engine. Okay. This is for, I think, high availability. I'm not sure. It says HA. I'm not sure what HA engine means. So I think it's 9094 port. Alerting messages. Okay, this is for alerting messages. HA. Okay, yeah, the port is used for both. Other Grafana are also running on the same port. The default value is 9094. Okay. I think that would be it. 9094. Let me check it out. I want to look at this ini file alone. Is there a port? Yeah, it's not. It says 3000. Let me try out 3000. 9094. Nope. So 3000 it is. Yep, it's running. So you have admin 123. That's not the thing. So this is the one. So close. Apparently you need to set a new password. So I'll just say admin 123 and admin 123. Right. I can skip it, but I didn't skip. Anyways, add your first data source. Learn how to with the docs. So add data source, right? So, or you can just go here and just go to home and add new connections. Okay, new connection plugins and all that. Okay, Prometheus. Okay, this is alert manager. Interesting. Prometheus. Azure Monitor. Interesting. I didn't know Azure. There's Amazon Azure Monitor managed service for Prometheus. Prometheus itself. Prometheus alert manager data source. Amazon managed service for Prometheus. I didn't know that these were there. Prometheus. Okay, add new data source. So it comes up data source added. So yeah, you can actually look at data sources. And can you delete this data source? Explore data. Open and explore view. Delete. Yep, you can delete. Awesome. So if you say add, you can just add this. Learn more to learn here and just click it. And please enter a URL. So http:/. If I don't enter anything and save and test, so invalid URL. Okay, open and metrics drill down. No metrics found. Okay. Data sources. This http://localhost 9090. And this is the URL. Access method is server. This means the URL needs to be accessible from the Grafana backend server. Okay. What's the access method here? Default. Okay. It's the default Prometheus. Is it like with type Prometheus? This is the default, I guess. Skip the effort and get Prometheus and locate as fully managed and hosted data sources. From Grafana Labs with the free forever cloud plan. Anyways, server. Okay. So build a dashboard. Okay. I think you just can't do anything other than this. And I don't need any advanced settings. So I say save and test. So it says successfully queried the Prometheus API. Next, you can visualize data by building a dashboard. Explore views. So I have saved it. So dashboards, Prometheus stats. You can just import these if you want. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and import these. If I re-import, what will happen? Dashboards. Okay, same thing will just, I think, get updated. I'm not sure. So it says Grafana metrics and all this. So data sources. Yeah, Grafana metrics. Okay. So I don't know what this drill down is. Okay, looks like it's about metrics, logs, traces, profiles. Okay. Dashboards, Grafana metrics. So there's no data as of now about Grafana. Okay. Prometheus 2.0 stats. Okay, not bad. I think we are running 3.6. So I don't know if 2.0 is this the dashboard version or is this the Prometheus version, because Prometheus is running at version 3.6. So anyways, so Prometheus stats. So there's no data here. Local storage memory series. Okay, we'll come back to these later. There is a Panel here, samples ingested, scrapes. Okay, interesting. So these are, I think, edit. What kind of panel are these? Host is there. I think it's a text thing. So you have time series bar and all that, and then you have text. Cool. So I'm just gonna close this. Suggestions based on current data. Okay. News text. Okay. Cool. So I'll just get out by doing escape, and let's see if we can add some new dashboard. 1 minute. Should I save it? No, I don't want to save it. Add visualization, explore views. So just select a metric that you want. Say Prometheus something. Prometheus. Say build info, and run the query. We can just say run the query, and it will give the build info. If you want something else, actually here it's a builder. If you write code, you can just say this. Builder gives you options for the graph and label filters, like a very, what do you say, visual thing. So just a minute. Okay, so I'll just keep this here. So code, I can actually click this also, Metrics Explorer. Great, this is also great. Filter by type. So I want summary, unknown, no type. Unknown, no type. Okay. Counter. Anything that says Prometheus. If I say dropped, will it also come up here? No. Notification. Anyways. Sent. Okay. Off. It picks up off only from here, not from here. Interesting. Doesn't search the description is what I think, but I'm not sure. So Prometheus, engine query failure logs, HTTP request. This is actually a good thing to look at. They have different codes, status codes and all. There are different values, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just remove this and say HTTP this showing only 20 series. Show all 57. Okay. I think I'll want it to be put together. So code. How can I say? So this is, I want the count of this actually. So it's being 57. Okay, there are 57 metrics, of course. How do I run this? So there are 57 of them here. It says 0, but it's all 200s and whatnot. So this one alone has 186 of it. So I'll just say sum, and then just say this sum of this, right? And we should have the number of calls, 266. Does it make sense? If I do this, I can see it's 18 plus 220, 21, 22, 34, 35, 36, 76, 77, and then 80 plus 180, which is 270. So I think it should be 270 or more now. So it's sum of, and then all of this. So it's 277 now. So yeah, if I keep running it again and again, I think it will increase. To 89, 296. Okay. So only if it's 200 we can do that also. So it will still be allowed. 299 and 304, For some reason it doesn't run again. Anyways, and you can see the query inspector over here, the data is over here. So the sum is pretty good. And okay, so it's showing the data after every, like what's the data looking like. So if you just run over here, you'll notice that there is one more data, 33, and there's one more over here. Okay, it didn't run this time. It didn't run. I wanted it to run. Yeah, it ran this time. I think you can't just run it again and again that much times, but anyways. This is how the JSON looks like, I think. So it's giving all the values and whatnot. So yeah. Interesting thing is, I'm just wondering if the labels are here. No, I don't know. From query, panel data, data frame JSON from raw data without transformation and field config apply, and the query stats. Okay. 72. Interesting. 74. So I think it's just not running. For some reason it doesn't seem to be running that many times, or it is. For some reason the total number of rows didn't change. Anyways. So selected metric is a counter. Consider calculating rate of counter by adding rate. Okay. Looks like they have some suggestions. Interesting. Cool. So I just wanted to like run Grafana and connect it to my Prometheus and now check it out. This is the latest version. I'll also try building it later. For now I just had this much. That's all I had for this video. That's the next one. Bye bye.